The Kash Patel appointment can't come soon enough, and it's probably being delayed so the horrible predators in our society could get their story aligned.
Wet weather, 877 cash now, 877 cash now. They help thousands, they'll help you too. One lump sum of cash they will pay to you.
Which you actually might be getting, as Elon Musk has just kind of put out the larger idea of sending Americans $5,000 checks using all the money that DOGE saved. Personally, I'm not a fan of that larger kind of socialistic idea. I think the government should, of course, maybe just not tax people. That would be a larger solution here. But it is fair to say that a lot of that money is particularly getting out of the hands of predators, child herders, and some of the biggest monsters in our society. And finally, at least these horrible people aren't being subsidized with all the larger actions that they particularly have been taking against children. I'm looking at you, Bill Gates, Mr. Soros, and all these other very prominent individuals, as the Senate still has yet to confirm in the making of this video Kash Patel, a man who has promised to release the Jeffrey Epstein client list. A lot of Jeffrey Epstein's old friends, they're the ones losing a lot of their U.S. aid money. They're the ones that are also in panic, as we have this article from Fox News talking about how Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein's link, has disgraced Duke Petrified to step foot on U.S. soil. Good! Absolutely amazing, as Prince Andrew once actually gave an interview about this larger saga where he was sweating profusely, stuttering over his words, and looked like he literally had his hand stuck in the cookie jar, but those cookies weren't cookies. They were small children that he was caught finagling with his frickin' inbred royal claw that they call a hand. Is, of course, his story. His original version of events, with how long he was friends with Epstein, what he was doing with Epstein's, does not add up, as the disgraced Duke of York spent a lot more contact with Epstein than, of course, he previously claimed before. What a surprise that he was lying about what he was doing, as, of course, the Prince of York also still is conducting business with foreign governments, as he recently just took a call with the Chinese ambassador to the United Kingdom with business meetings. How is this man still having any kind of position of power and authority or influence in our society when clearly he is a disgraced child herder that is, even according to many experts, too afraid to ever step foot in the United States because of the larger possibility of him being criminally prosecuted? Now, in the United Kingdom, there was a lot of people kind of coming forward and saying, hey, I actually have some evidence. There's people that were children before. I was a child before. Here we have some direct evidence. Here we have some photos. And the UK police looked at it, and they're like, we're not going to investigate this. No, we're not going to look at this. And I'm like, wait, hold on there. Wait. You have at least the ability to investigate, because clearly there's the overpreponderance of circumstantial evidence highlighting that clearly there was a lot of abuse here and illegal activities that were wrong. The UK police officially said, just like, all those other migrant crimes. I don't see nothing. What? Oh, royal family. The guy that the people we shipped in here to replace the local pipe. I don't. Crime? What crime? Ha! Nothing's happening here. As the disgraced Prince Andrew just recently marked his 65th birthday, and according to many sources, is still refusing to leave the royal lounge, after it is now coming out that he's still conducting official business there. As a lot of people are saying, wait, how are you still in a royal residence? How are you still on the grounds of Windsor Castle? How are you the Queen's favorite son, according to many stories, when, of course, there's so many different controversies, the worst controversies of them all, and that, of course, is accusations of him hurting small children. So Again, the Telegraph also had another article saying that Prince Andrew has 12 months left to redeem himself before retirement. And they said he won't. Yeah, because there's nothing redeeming yourself when you lie, get caught lying, look like literally a hoe in church, specifically when being interviewed and questioned about all of this stuff, and now you're still going to somehow try to save face here. As of course, there's an old Project Veritas story that I wanted to link here with the larger chilling effect that's happening here. But before getting into that, I wanted to tell you about the bestpoliticalshirts.com, where we made shirts about this very specific issue, and we were censored because of BuzzFeed attacks on us. Yes, you heard that correctly. The corporate media, the mainstream media attacked us, and they had our T-shirt store taken down. A T-shirt store that we started because we were censored on social media for talking about the Epstein story many, many years ago before anybody else was talking about it. We were called the crazy conspiracy theorists. We made T-shirts about it in order to spread this larger kind of idea out there. And then we were censored. The store is back up. All you have to do is go into the search thing and you type in Epstein, you type in search, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself all the gear that was previously banned that is now available for you and everyone else. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing right now, let me see if I could find it just by typing. Yes, you could type in virus into the search thing and you will find the shirt that I'm wearing right now that says, FYI, the government is way deadlier than any virus. Great shirt that we released in 2021 that definitely got a lot of people thinking, as ideas back then were censored. And it's pretty crazy, the levels of censorship, as there's a lot of royal families. There's a lot of crazy things, especially related to Joris Demming in Holland, the royal family, Edward Heath, Jimmy Savile, so many, Franklin Cover, so many things within government that clearly highlight ritualistic abuse of small children. And it's fair to assume here that the corporate media, along with the federal authorities, are involved in all of this, and that's why Kash Patel, one of the reasons he said he wanted to make the FBI headquarters into a museum on government corruption is because of their larger kind of participation in all of this, as the FBI confiscated, stole a lot of the hard drives, a lot of the tapes, a lot of the photos of all these prominent people doing really awful stuff, and they never went after them. Why is that? The FBI was a part of a larger cover-up here, along with the DOJ, that was literally going to Epstein and saying, hey, give us some dirt on Trump. Just give us anything, and we'll make your hard time go away. They gave him a sweetheart deal of a lifetime where he was able to walk out of jail whenever he wanted to. That's the type of craziness that we saw, as there was mainstream media reporters like Amy Robash, who previously worked at ABC News, that was caught on a hot mic that was later released by Project Veritas, of her saying, we had everything on Epstein. We had the Clintons, we had the children, we had the testimony, we had almost we had this big, huge bombshell story for 3 years that they refused to air, that they spiked. Now, why did they spike this very important story? Well, according to insiders, the probable cause was because the Disney-owned news organization was simply protecting their chances at, quote, access at Buckingham Palace and the Duke of York. ABC News has been fawning grotesquely over the royal family for years, desperate for an interview with Kate Middleton. They will never get. All journalism is greatly subordinate. This is allegedly from an ABC News insider that told this to Fox News, as it's pretty clear here. The royal family, in many instances, got involved and said, shut up. Don't you dare talk about my son, my spouse, my cousin, my uncle, diddling and hurting small children. Don't you dare tell everyone the larger truth of what was really going on here, according to my own personal opinion, as there's just too many there's too many coincidences here with the royal family just being caught up in some of the most awful, heinous actions. As The Sun has a very interesting article as they talked to some of the lawyers of the victims here that specifically describe how this is not a situation that you could play off as some kind of coincidence. This is not a situation that you could just say, they just didn't know. No one knew what was going on here. Yeah, right. Here's the clip from a lawyer representing the victims.
It's impossible that he did not see the young women that were around Epstein at the time that he was friends with Epstein. It would be impossible, because Epstein was always surrounded by young girls. Whether Andrew took part in any of Epstein's debauchery, I don't know, right? That we just don't know. Now, the FBI may know. They may have the videotapes from inside his house in Manhattan.
They do. And the way that this man has been, lying, not upfront about this entire situation, and just looking like he is absolutely freaking guilty, highlights how he probably is guilty.
I mean, they did go into his home in Manhattan, and they did confiscate items in the home in Manhattan. They confiscated items at the island in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands. We know that he had cameras in all of his homes recording. So U.S. government may be aware of things.
They are. And we might be getting those answers as soon as Kash Patel gets into that very important position of power where he will soon expose all of this. Now, there's also the situation of P. Diddy. Now, whatever you might be thinking of him, there are a lot of people, including his assistant, who came out and said that this predator did whatever he wanted to. And it does highlight the larger kind of mentality of very powerful people out there that believe that they're some kind of gods. George Soros literally came out and said that he believes he was anointed by God, and called himself someone who's financed myself as someone kind of God. That's how these people view themselves. P. Diddy's also trying to play up this larger kind of notion that this is a racism thing. No, it's not. It's pretty clear here. Billionaires play by a different set of rules, as, of course, Prince Andrew still is running around when there is overwhelming amounts of circumstantial evidence highlighting that this guy clearly did some really awful, horrible stuff to children. What did Diddy do? Well, the trial is going to be fascinating. We're going to be covering that in future videos. Stay tuned for that and a lot more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.